Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 3 of the CIL Formula College live here at the British Grand Prix. And tonight, it is going to be an intense race. Going off from last week at Spa, it was an incredible race between the top two with Johnson and Alif. And today, or tonight I'd say, it's going to be probably even more intense here on this historical track. How are you doing, Nick Stockner?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good, Ed. We're doing pretty good. We got a really ripper race here tonight here at Silverstone International Racing Circuit here in Silverstone, Great Britain, across the pond from our American base here. We got a great race on tonight for the British Grand Prix of the first season of Super Formula's Formula College World Championship. And then, we can head on into a track map here to show you exactly what we're looking at. So the sectors are as follows. You start with the Hamilton Straight into turn 1 and 2, heading on down into Village here with 3, 4, and 5, down the Wellington Straight into turn 6 and turn 7, Brooklands, up through turn 8 and 9, the fast hanging corner there, and then into Maggots and Beckett's through 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, that complex. Down the Hanger Straight, and to turn 15, over there at Stowe, and then the 16, 17, 18, known as the Vale Chicane Complex, and that is a lap around Silverstone. It was the track. A good fun fact for you tonight about Silverstone. This track hosted the first ever Formula One World Championship race, Edward.
I mean, this is as historical as it gets, and I mean, tonight is not going to be any different from that time when they had this for the first time, because tonight we're going to have a bunch of these college races go at it, and I mean, it's going to be insane. Now, I was going to say, usually, it's kind of rare to have the driver come up to the driver's booth, I'm sorry, the commentator's booth. So, Nick Stockton, I know you've been racing these Formula College. How is it, watching this week with this time? And kind of like taking a kind of laissez-faire, hands-off kind of for tonight.
Oh, well, driving these cars is a very, I guess you could call it a difficult challenge, as you've probably seen through the first 2 weeks of the season, at least from my end. I'm more of a stock car guy personally, but I do drive these cars for fun. It's a car that requires a lot of patience and a lot of care. You're talking about a car that has a ton of power, has a turbo lag, and has tires that are really big and really hard to get up to temperature. So to be watching it tonight, you can definitely, get a little bit of film, get a little bit of data, get a little bit of just knowledge of what are people doing and where can you improve. Obviously, it's a bit of a trade-off there.
Yeah, of course. And I think one of the biggest things tonight, especially with Silverstone, is the rear tires, right? You're gonna have to baby those all the way around because, I mean, you got these high speed corners, mid speed, low speed. I mean, it's got everything. And I think that one of the key moments, key things really to survive, and just to make it to the end, is to take care of those rear tires. I mean, we saw a lot of people kind of I mean, honestly, get their night ruined by over driving those rears, and especially in Suzuka where we saw multiple times where cars just, they just on the cusp of just on the edge of those tires and they just go away. And definitely another track that we saw from last week's Spa, another one where, we didn't see that much in terms of, the rear tires losing and spinning it out as much as Suzuka. But here in Silverstone, I mean, these, we don't got much camber in terms of these corners. It's really a lot of it is flat out. So, it's going to be tough for these drivers. And so I just want to ask you, like, what do you think is going to be the most difficult part of tonight? Like, I know you said about it's just patience and it's about really knowing when the time to strike. But you as a driver and looking at this track, like, what do you think is going to be the most important, I guess, key to survival and really to be competitive here?
If I really had to, there's about three things tonight as a driver you're really watching for in terms of a chance to win. The first is picking and choosing your battles. We have, if I do check the record here, it's going on about 12 or more than 12, about 20 cars tonight. So picking and choosing your battles is incredibly important because we have a lot of laps. Obviously, this is not a short race like previously. It's 15 laps around here, and you have a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of corners, a lot of passing zones. Picking and choosing your battles. Second is the tire degradation. I know you mentioned the rears already, but the fronts also take a hefty amount of load. You're dealing with fast-paced corners, which really rely on the rear to grip, but then you're also dealing with a lot of slow-paced corners, where it requires the front end of the car to really generate the rotation. And then lastly, in my opinion, it's really about the driver's mentality. We have a lot of drivers in this league, and I have a lot of, different sets of emotions. We have drivers that will get angry at one mistake and bin it and ruin their race. We have drivers that make a mistake, get back into it, settle in, and find ways to win. It really is about managing not just the car, not just where you are, but also managing yourself through such a long and strenuous task.
Right, 10-4. And I was going to say, it's just like, really all these factors combined, it's going to make some incredible racing tonight. And I definitely want to see a really tough battle up front, because especially on this old circuit, I mean, side by side action here is possible, isn't it?
It is very possible. You think back to a lot of notable incidents through the years in real life racing, because in truthful honesty, another CIL fun fact, you get a little bit of CIL history with a guy who's been in here for 7 seasons. We've never been to Silverstone in a car this fast before. We've been to a short version of the circuit once before in F4 cars, but this is the first time we've ever raced on the legit track. So this is brand new territory for even seasoned CIL veterans like R. Muhammad Alif, Esteban Munoz, Lucas Moody, Luis Diaz, Athena Leclerc. A lot of seasoned veterans are doing this for the first time in this league setting. You're looking at just a lot of unknowns, a very difficult to call race in terms of who you think is going to win.
Wow, so what you're telling me is that tonight, we're gonna be putting these drivers in the blind side here, and we're gonna definitely be seeing, who put in the most practice throughout this week and who can prevail in really the unknown. So, I mean, wow, if this is the first time in these cars, we're gonna get a treat here. Now, definitely been watching the qualifying. I gotta say, some of these guys have been spinning out quite often, especially going into well, really into turn 6 in Brooklands, down to turn 3 in the village, and as well as down into turn 15 out of the hangar straight into Stowe. So, as I mentioned, well, saying those corners now, those are our 3 key points to let our viewers know. Those are going to be really the points of attack. So, like I said, going into turn 3 in village, going to turn 6 in Brooklands, and going down the hangar straight into turn 15, I believe are the most consequential places where you're going to be finding the most amount of, full sending it in and taking it too wide. So, those 3 corners are gonna have to be something to look at.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. It's funny that you mentioned those 3 corners because all 3 of those corners are drastically different in how the car handles. You mentioned turn 3. Turn 3 is a heavy braking zone, very slow corner for this car. You mentioned turn 6. That's a medium speed corner. We're not fully braking for that corner. We're carrying speed in there, but not a lot. And then you mentioned turn 15. That is a flat out corner in this car. This car, with the amount of downforce and the amount of power it has, that corner is very close to flat out, very close to where you have a lot of speed carrying in that car. So that's three different zones in how you attack this track with this car.
Well, if what you're saying is this is gonna be a technical yet exciting race, I cannot wait. I mean, drop the green flag. I mean, unfortunately, we got only a minute left before this race starts, but definitely gonna be very excited to see how it's gonna go out, and especially lap 1, right? Turn 1. What is it gonna be? Who's gonna survive? Who's gonna, unfortunately, might have to end the night early? As we are on board here with Jordan Johnson here for the qualifying attempt. Now, I don't know if he's on his second or on his out lap or his hot lap right now, but as we see, he's currently down out of turn 14. Oh, he's just gonna slow down. Never mind. Seems like I, I think he is practicing starts. Let's see here as he's in third gear as he quickly goes up. I mean, yeah, I was gonna say one big thing out of going to turn 1 is gonna be who is not gonna stall out. I mean, we saw what happened in Spa last week where we had one car in the back just stall out and not go at all, and ooh, that caused a big checkup. So tonight we'll see if who is gonna be quick on their feet. As right now from the qualifying, looks like someone is on the top, and not surprised. We have Muhammad Alif and Jordan Johnson in our top 2. Well, we will be going over the grid in a short bit. Okay, so let's call now the grid right now, so while we can. So we have in first place right now on the provisional poll, we have Muhammad Ali from Ball State University with a nice 135, the only sub 36. So good for him. And outside joining him will be Jordan Johnson of Kent State University. In row number 2, we got Lucas Moody from Ball State University. And on the outside joining him will be Esteban Munoz from Florida International University. Row number 3 is going to be Philip DeRosary from Howard Community College, and joining him on the outside is Clint Halterman. On row number 4, we got Cale Davidson once again with another Ball State University, and joining him on the outside, his teammate in Ball State University, Bradley Skinker. And following up our top 10 in row number 5 is going to be Luis Diaz on the inside from Florida International University, and Cohen Evans from Rupert University, and that locks out our top 10. So that's really what they want to be in the points now. Would you like to take the rest, Nick?
Oh, of course, we have 11th place Athena Leclerc of St. Clair College, followed by P1200 Hidesti at Clemson University. P13, Jason Walla at Drexel with P14, Aiken Lamar from Howard Community College. P15, Patrick Stanley at Ferris State with P16, Adrian Tubakovic out of St. Clair College. P17, Austin DeLong at the Pennsylvania College of Technology with P18, Zach Lindler out of Lenore Rhine University. P19, Mark Turek out of the Pennsylvania College of Technology. P20, Alexander Diamond out of Drexel. Rounding out our 21 car grid, Andrew Burrell out of Clemson University. We got cars
have the lights red and about to go green, and here we go, lights away, and here we go at Silverstone for round 3 of CIL. Here we go as first place right now. Muhammad Alif is side by side with Johnson on the inside. Muhammad Alif on the outside as the first two is going to get away, but they're still fighting it out as Johnson throws it in turn 3. He goes on the inside, but still, and he gets a little bit loose there as Muhammad Alif still takes the lead as they go out of turn 4. And Muhammad Alif gets loose again. But Jordan Johnson still right behind him as they go down the straightaway. Now Jordan Johnson, he's going to try and get his slipstream here as Muhammad Alif is going to still using his overtake right now to try to get into turn 6 before him. As he does, he's taking the lead into turn 6. And we got a spin in the back out of position 18. Looks like Philip DeRosie is out of the race, unfortunately, as the lead here is getting intensified here as Muhammad Alif is leading here out of the first corner, down into turn number 4, turn number 10 here as Muhammad Alif is still right in front of Jordan Johnson, but Jordan Johnson is not going to give up. What an intense start here.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. The first few corners of this race were very intense. Jordan Johnson forcing our Muhammad Alif off, but our Muhammad Alif fought back. They fight through Maggots and Beckett's here into the hangar straight. Jordan Johnson is now in pursuit. It should be noted to the fans out there this evening, our Muhammad Alif used overtake to begin the race. Now, every time you use overtake, you have 200 seconds of overtake running overall. But every time you turn off overtake, it takes 2 whole minutes of racing action for you to be able to use overtake again. So for our Muhammad Alif's case, that's an entire lap, a little bit over a lap and about a quarter of racing that he now has to incur without his overtake, which is an incredible position for him. We run through the field here. Clint Haltman now in P8 out of the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, the alumni car there, fighting through the first couple corners. He's got, I believe, Bradley Skinker ahead of him. Dives deep down into turn 3, fights through it into the complex here into turn 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's intense battle here as we see the battle for top 10. They're not that far apart. And looking back here, we're on board right now with Cale Davidson as he goes down the Wellington Straight, going into turn 6 in Brooklands, and he's kind of getting a little bit far off from 5th place. Looks like 5th place is kind of getting away down into turn 7, going into turn 8 here on the right side of Woodcut. Now, definitely going to be looking at here is the top 10. Right now, our top 10 consists of Alif, Johnson, Munoz, Moody, Diaz, Davidson, Skinker, Halterman, Cohen Evans, and lastly, Jason Wallet. And right now, there is a sizable gap between 10th and 11th. But definitely tonight, the big thing on these drivers' mind are the points. It is round 3. It is a little bit early here for the championship, but we are getting closer to that cutoff race. And so all these drivers has to keep in mind that in order to get these points, you got to get top 10, but you got to have a clean and consistent race. And so we'll see who of these drivers who are going to triumph and who are going to go home, you know, going to probably not be happy if they're going to spin it around and send them to the wall and end their night early.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. We're on board right now with Hunter Hidesti out of Clemson University, Orange Wheel Racing Machine. Heading down into the Vale chicane here, heading through Club. He's going to head right down onto the Hamilton Straight. Hunter Hidesti right now in P13. He got a spinner right in front of him. That's an easy position. The easiest work he's going to do all night. He heads right into to start his next lap. We got Mark Turk behind him. And that looks to be Aiken Lamar, not Aiken Lamar who spun, but trying to figure out who spun there. Cohen Evans up in P9 right now. He is the last car of that 3-car train. He's following right now behind Clint Halterman and Bradley Skinker with just about a second and 1.3 seconds ahead, being Cale Davidson. Clint Halterman takes a look to the inside. Clint Halterman has wheels on him. He's into the next corner here. Does he have the pass on the outside? He has the ability to get on the power before him. He's using overtake. Does he have the opportunity? They almost bang wheels.
Oh man, this is an intense battle as we see Clint Halterman and Bradley Skinker fighting it out. Clint Halterman taking on the outside as we're gonna go into the next corner. He goes wide and looks like Bradley Skinker is gonna get it, but now Clint Halterman is gonna get the draft here and gonna try and slipstream here, but he's gonna concede and give him into the S's. He's gonna let Bradley Skinker just live another few corners. What an intense racing here as we see that Clint Halterman is gonna he's currently Oh no, he was on the overtake earlier, and now he's on the kind of like shutting it down. But that battle, as you see, created a gap between 6th and 7th, as Davidson is now up ahead by 2 seconds in front of Bradley Skinker. But now Clint Halterman still behind Bradley Skinker. Can he get to him? Not yet, but down the straight they go once again as he's trying to get that draft. As he gets a perfect corner right there, hitting the curbs right, and he's getting on the gas. But Bradley Skinker once again pulling away just barely. Who might know, but they might be going into another battle down into turn 3 or 6 soon enough. Yes, so go ahead.
Indeed. Now you can see we don't have full information due to iRacing's little quirks about not being able to see the entire dash, but you can see to the left side of that steering wheel, there's a little bit of a gauge there. It looks like a ruler to most people at home. That is the overtake gauge. When you turn off your overtake, that gauge begins to fill. That basically is the little visual cue to the driver at hand that, hey, your overtake is almost recharged in this case. But Clint Halterman, he's fighting tooth and nail to find any way around Bradley Skinker. Another thing about these cars to the viewers at home, these cars create an outwash. The fact that they create so much downforce, there's a lot of air that gets pushed out of the way. In fact, for a car trailing another car, they lose about 20 to 30% of their downforce compared to the leading car. That's equivalent to about 6 to 7 tenths of a second that they are losing simply based off the fact that they are following. So they have to try to find a way to overcome that by making different moves and taking aggressive lines and finding air for their car.
Yeah, and one of the magical things about this historical circuit is there is enough racetrack to really pull off these moves, but you have only so much real estate going into the corner that you can take up, and it's definitely going to be a risk because obviously these drivers, they want to be ahead of the next guy. And as we see right now, a battle for right now we're looking at Zachary Lindler, and he has no front and Nick, just as a racer, how does it feel to have no front nose in these cars?
Well, in layman's term, it is not fun. You have the front wing of this car is so transformative in basically generating the downforce of this race car throughout the entire car. The front wing is really used to cut the air and to really guide it around the car. When you don't have that front wing, you really lose pretty much all hope of having a competitive race car because you lose a lot of front grip. And we're getting a report from the stewards. Looks like Zachary Lindler is going to be getting a 10-second time penalty. He caused the collision, according to our head steward, Alex Hallinar.
Oh, and that's not going to be good news for Zachary Lindler. A 10-second penalty here can mean the difference between getting a point position or not. And I mean, honestly, where his position is at, it ain't looking like it's going to be his night. So unfortunately, he's going to have to suffer for those 10-second. But as we see right now, Kel Davidson looking on the inside here on Luis Manuel Diaz. As right now, they're going into turn 18, I believe? But as they go on the outside, he's going to try and pull the switcheroo here as he gets on the gas way quicker. As Kel Davidson is going to try and get the slipstream here behind Diaz. Now, is he using overtake right now? He is not. But, oh, as they swerve a little bit there, as they almost made contact, going into turn 1 down here to the right side, as Kel Davidson is still behind Luis Manuel Diaz, but Diaz still holds on. And as we see, his defensive driving is holding the inside, but of course that sacrifices the exit speed as Kel Davidson once again goes here on the inside, and it looks like he's going really far out as Diaz almost goes nearly off track. He is currently off track as Davidson is going to pass by. Luis Diaz is going to lose positions here, actually. He's going to go from 7th to 8th to 9th, and now Cohen Evans is right behind them, as looks like he's going to settle in right now in 8th place, but that little error of going too wide costed him 2 positions right there. And that could mean the difference between going and falling out of top 10 or making in the top 10 and making these points. So these type of errors you have to really minimize. As we see Clint Halterman once again here, trying to get past Bradley Skinker. As these two has been battling out for the last few laps. Here once again, Clint Halterman is he's gaining him just slightly behind the slipstream. As they go through the S's right now, as Clint Halterman is getting close, but he's going to have to lift a little bit to give him room, as he doesn't know if he's going to brake early, and he decides to play it safe. He's going to eat up a little bit of the curb here, but a better exit speed as they go down the Wellington straight.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Down the hanger straight right now. Clint Halterman in P7. He's going to hang it through Stowe here, seeing if he can get anything to be done. Look at the car just push. That is following another car to a T. The car just simply does not want to turn. He gets through the Vale chicane here, through into Club, heading out to the Hamilton straight now. Does he have any kind of chance right now of getting back on the power? The car is recharging from an overtake usage right there. And there it is, the blue light. When you have a blue light on your dashboard, that means your car is ready for another run, ready for another additional boost of overtake. To the viewers at home, overtake in these cars is equivalent to a boost of about 60 horsepower. You have an incredible amount of extra horsepower on hand through your turbocharger. But the biggest issue, the biggest trade-off, that is, when it comes to using your overtake, is that your brakes didn't get any bigger and your tires didn't get any wider, and it's a heck of a lot harder to slow that car down. So he is going to probably use that in a more conventional manner. We run through the field here. Jason Wallet, self-proclaimed Titan of the sport, in P10. He is following right now behind Cohen Evans, an elder statesman of the sport, and right now defending against Hunter Hidesti in P11 from Clemson University. Now, Jason Wallet, he's been around the block a little bit. You know, he has a lot of previous experience in high-powered open-wheel cars, particularly the Indy car. So when you're dealing with a car like this, it's a little bit of a second nature to him. But we see him here in P10 performing extremely well, getting through here to the high-speed corners, Edward.
I mean, yeah, definitely he's making Drexel University proud. And I was gonna say I have joined him in some of the Indy official races here on the service. Oh, I can say Indy now. I forgot. And so it's gonna be great for Jason here, because yeah, he does have the experience in open wheel. So it's good seeing him in 10th place. But you know, we see Hunter Hassity right behind him, only 4/10. So really here, the only person that is giving him pressure here is gonna be Hunter Hassity, and obviously behind him, there's no pressure. Hidesti, sorry. So right behind him is 5 seconds away is Akin Lamar. So really there's no pressure here for 11th place. So, you know, it's going to be a tough battle here for the next 8 laps or 7 laps here that Jason Wallet is going to have to Jason Wall is going to have to fend them off for top 10 to keep those points. And once again, as we're going to have to say that we're going to have, as this is our first race, we actually have an inverse start for our second heat. So what does that mean? Well, every position that has the top 10 gets inversed. So if the position stays as it is, if Alif gains, if he gets this win, he will start 10th on the next heat. If Johnson stays in second, he will start 9th, and so forth and so forth. Now, of course, to give a little update to the viewers, Muhammad Alif, of course, I mean, I would say giving a little Sunday drive right now. He's currently 2.6 seconds ahead of the leader of Jordan Johnson. And I mean, right now he seems kind of posed. Been watching him for a while, and you know, he kind of is just, the car, he sends it in and he just follows it, not even over driving it as much as I would think. And right now behind him, Jordan Johnson also creating a gap behind him to third place at Esteban Munoz by 5 seconds. So honestly, these top 3, they're kind of, well, top 2 is locked in, but Lucas Moody in 4th place, just less than a second behind Esteban Munoz. So the battle for 3rd is still there, as right now we're on screen right here with Clint Halterman here, as once again, behind by the Skinker. And you see there's a battle right here for, I'd say, top 5 here. So Cale Davidson, and now he's going to look into the inside as Bradley Skinker once again survives, and Clint Halterman decides to let it off. So as you said, these drivers, they really want to get out of this dirty air. They want to get past, because these last few laps, I can only imagine Clint Halterman's frustration just staying behind him and just not being able to go anywhere. As we see, as he gets a little bit oversteering out of the corner, but that is all of that just extra pushing, because Clint is sending it in, trying to find the edge of his tires. So every time he does that, it does take away his tire lives, and as we see, it's getting really squirrely for him. As right now we have Mark Turek of Pennsylvania College of Technology here battling, as we have the battle for 12th between him and Akin Lamar. And as I said right now, the battle for 10th is really between Jason and Hunter and Cohen, but Akin Lamar and Mark here, they're fighting it out for 12th. So really, there's battling everywhere, regardless of points or not.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. It should be noted for Clint Halterman, he was using overtake
right now.
He was using his overtake. Now he has to recharge it. It should be noted, you saw when he was battling there, he had already gone below 100 seconds of overtake left, which means he's already used over half of his overtake And we still have 6 laps of racing left to go after he completes this 9th one right here. He has a considerable amount of racing left to go in this race, and he has not conserved his overtake. And some people would describe it, he's used too much of it so far. But he's going through these corners here. He's going through the straights. He's on the Hamilton straight right now, ready to start lap 10 of his first race. He is just, he's struggling here and he's struggling there. You saw it firsthand. He's losing some tire life. Does he have enough to rebound and regroup and attack again? He's got 2 cars ahead of him right now that, at least if I was Clint Halterman, I would see if they can get side by side. Can they go head to head? Because if that is a possible thing, then he has the right to gain. Because when those 2 cars go side by side, they immediately become slower because they're dueling, and he has a chance to maybe take a 2-for-1, if you will.
So do I hear that there could be a possibility of a through goes Clint Halterman kind of style? Because that would be one hell of an amazing show right there. But like you said, it is considerably, he's using a lot. And I was going to say, as a driver yourself, right now in this late stage of the race where we got 5 laps to go, how many seconds do you think should these drivers really have left on these overtakes? If you're saying Clint already had less than 100, what would you say right now would be the right amount?
If I was a smart driver in his position right now, I would still have over half of my overtake available, because when you're in these last few laps, it is always good to have enough overtake left in the reserve to do a considerable amount of the final lap with overtake on. Let's use a little bit of math, for instance, here. Right now, these cars on average are running about 135, 136s, 137s. We do a little bit of math. That's about 97, 98 seconds of overtake. So by the final lap, I would like to have somewhere in the realm of like 80 seconds, maybe 75 seconds. He's already at that point. So he has used up a considerable portion. Some would have to say he's probably been using it every chance he gets, and he's been using a little bit too much of it. Because you have to understand, when it comes to overtake, yes, it is useful in the slow corners. It's useful on the way out. But overtake really does give you that great effect when you're going on straightaways. So like the Hangar Straight, the Wellington Straight, the Hamilton Straight. Having that overtake there, that extra 60 horsepower, the extra at the top end of your speed spectrum, somewhere around 10 to 15 miles per hour, that is incredibly important to you in your fight into the next corner. But we got Bradley Skinker here. He is in P6. He is in the middle of this fight. He has a teammate ahead of him in the form of Cale Davidson. He has an adversary behind him in the form of Clint Halterman. Bradley Skinker right now is in a very difficult situation, because when you think about him and you think about the challenge that he is going to be going through, if he attacks too aggressively against his teammate, it could lead to a difficult conversation back there in Indiana for the Ball State room. But if he doesn't, he'll be kicking himself for not trying. He goes side by side into Stowe. Does he hold on? He forces Kel Davidson wide. Davidson says, no, sir. They're going to go down into the Vale chicane now. Halterman wants a little bit of action here. Skinker still to the inside. He's going to hold it through Club. He now has to fight off Halterman. Davidson's gotten off like a scalded dog. And here's P8. It's Luis Diaz. He wants some action. Side by side into one. Halterman has to give. Diaz is there. Diaz has the position. Diaz has it to the inside. But no, Halterman fights back. We're side by side through a lot of slow corner. Was there contact? I don't think so.
No contact. They almost got close, but that was no contact right there, as we saw that Clint Halterman yet again still holds on to 7th position. And I mean, as you were saying right now, Bradley Skinker just try to get away and attack his own teammate, Cale Davidson, and Ball State University. And once again, we are back into the same, but it just got more intense, as right now the battle for 6th place between Bradley, Clint, and Lewis. I mean, it is just getting fire up in here. I also wanted to say a little bit of race update. Unfortunately, Mark Turek did run off the track and lost 13th position. So right now the battle is raging on, especially for top 10, as we have Jason Wallet just really getting far back from Hunter, as Hunter got 10th place. As we saw, he nearly got off the track. It's Clint Halterman. He's going to go on the outside here through the S's, but is he going to go? And he and he gets loose out into the S's. Now Clint Halterman, once again, just trying so hard to get past him, but it's just, he gets there, but loses the exit speed. And once again, Bradley Skinker is going to live another few corners in 6th place. And once again, Clint Halterman is going to look at the outside. He goes into here into Wellington Straight. as he tapped a little bit with Bradley Skinker, and he goes off track a little bit, and through goes Luis Diaz as he gets 7th position, and Clint Halterman is going to have to sit back in 8th position. Now, I don't know, he's probably frustrated right now, but he has to realize there's 3 laps to go. He's in a points position. He can't let this car loose. He can't go into the wall or else he loses the points out. So right now, Bradley Skinker in 7th, Luis Manuel Diaz in 7th, and Clint Halterman in 8th. Wow, what an amazing battle, isn't it, Nick?
Indeed, it was. If I'm Clint Halterman, I'm just more impressed. Oh, his tires are hot. His tires are hot. He just basically sailed it in there and locked it. Now, dealing with both of these drivers before, if I'm Clint Halterman, I'm a little bit ticked off because from that angle right there, Skinker didn't turn in. He turned into him instead. But Skinker is known across the circuit for being a little bit of a stout defender. Stout is a nice word to put it.
That's an understatement, honestly. I mean, this racing tonight, the way that Bradley Skinker is just holding the inside and just like making the right moves to really defend, I'd say he's a blocker. He's a linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs, honestly, at this point, as Luis Diaz is trying to stay on to him right now, as we see Bradley Skinker is right now using his overtake to pull away, as right now we have 3 laps to go. And just a quick leaders update right now, Muhammad Ali in the lead, followed by Jordan Johnson by 4 seconds and Esteban Munoz by 7 seconds. It looks like the top 3 is kind of settled in and locked in, followed by Lucas Moody in 4th place, Cale Davidson in 5th, as we see up ahead, and Bradley Skinker the battle for 6th, as right now we're on looking at Alexander Diamond in the middle of 3 right here, as the battle for 13th is tight, as close as it gets between Patrick A. Stanley, Alexander Diamond, and Austin DeLong. And so everywhere is just racing right now, and this is amazing. And we only have 2 laps left, as right now Clint Halterman right now seems like he got a little bit loose out into, and he seems like he's around. He went into the gravel a little bit, but saved it. But look at what happened. He's in 11th. He is out, as we're gonna get a replay by the broadcast. And it looks like Jason Wallet is gonna get that last points position in 10th place. As right now with the replay we have right now is Clint Halterman. As I saw on the track map that he kind of went and spun it around. Oh, and he ate the curb. You cannot do that. Definitely not in these cars, right, Nick?
Indeed. He went a little bit too tight there. Now first a little bit of the full scope of what he just did. He went from 8th to 11th. He's lost all chance of overall points. He has lost the ability to start on reverse grid pole. And to couple that with the last fact, in the alumni class, he just lost the alumni win for race 1 because Hunter Hidesti has just passed him for P9. Now, Hunter here in 9th has a decision to make, an executive decision if you will. Do you finish 9th? You have only about 4 to 5 tenths of a second between you and P10. Do you give Wallet 9th, say, here, take the 2nd point, I only need 1. I'm going to start on pole instead. I know personally as a racer, in F4 races last season, I did that. I willingly gave up 9th. But Luis Diaz here, he is fighting tooth and nail with the likes of Bradley Skinker. Skinker not known for not giving an inch, sometimes to his detriment. He is definitely working hard here. Does Diaz have anything for him?
And he ate a little bit of the curb. Ooh, but obviously we see that he tried to do a switcheroo into the corner, but obviously he had to back off, as right now, once again, Clint Halterman just getting loose out of that final corner. He once again hit the chicane back there, and it's like you said, I mean, definitely here, right now, we're on the final lap as Johnson going through the Hamilton straight right now, but it's one thing to know that you had 8th place, and it's another thing to just lose it like that, so I know he's definitely not going to be happy, and like you said, missing out on the first grid, as right now we're on board with Luis Diaz, as right now, will he have enough to attack onto Bradley Skinker, because definitely he has almost a whole lap left, nearly a whole lap left, as we're going to complete out here, as we see if Luis Diaz has anything left in the tank to get past Bradley Skinker. And it's just a superb driving by these 2 gentlemen, as it's really been close, but kind of respectful. I mean, I'm a commentator. Stockner, you've seen it happen, and right now Luis Diaz is going to look into the inside. He would, and it comes to Skinker. Oh no, Skinker is out. He's into the gravel trap as Luis Diaz hit him on the inside, tapping him. That is a Hamilton and Verstappen incident right there, as Luis Diaz was looking on the inside, as we have the replay ready by the commentators. But gonna have championship implications right now, as we'll see if Bradley Skinker right now on the outside right here, going into the combs, as we see, as just barely, that is, as we're seeing that it's probably hopefully it's netcode. And if it's not, well, Bradley Skinker is not going to be a happy person as he is relegated into 11th. And luckily for Jason Wallet, once again, he's going to get 10th place here. But here, Jordan Alif, as Muhammad Alif right now as the leader is about to take first place as we have finished. He's finished already. It really took us off the leader right there, but Clint Halterman is actually going to finish out in 10th. My bad, sorry. Jason Wallet in 9th, Clint Halterman in 10th. So at the end of the day, Clint Halterman actually got back kind of a little bit there. He got lucky there with the contact that Diaz made, and honestly, what a race, what a finish. And just to round about here as Akin Lamar passes it into 12th place. But oh man, Stockton, what do you think of that final lap? I mean, as we see, they're still fighting here. Mark Turek just passes for P16 on Adrian Tubavovich as we get Tubagovic. Sorry, as Mark Turek finishes 16th here at P17, it's gonna be Adrian. And oh man, I don't know. If I was Bradley Skinker right now, man, I don't think I would be really happy right now as we round the bout, and we're gonna get our results here in a moment. Yeah, so I could say it right now. Right now we have in first place Muhammad Alif, second place Jordan Johnson. So here it is. So Muhammad Alif as a winner once again. I mean, it was a defiant just dominance because he finished with a almost 6-second lead. And so compared to last race at Spa, I mean, the battle was close, but today, I was kind of a little surprised. I thought Jordan Johnson might, add a little bit more fight, bring up more to the table, and, bring some heat to it.
Indeed. If it is at all possible, I'd like to have a replay of facing the two cars before I make any kind of discussion about that last lap, because any kind of knowledge is better than the angle that we got originally. But just if I had to infer it all from that original contact there on the last lap between Bradley Skinker and Luis Diaz, to Luis Diaz's defense, Skinker gave him at max the car, the width of the car at. In reality, probably less than the car's width. Diaz was there. Skinker didn't give him the space. In Skinker's defense, Diaz didn't stay to the inside. He definitely washed out trying to make the corner, and carry some pace, and hit Skinker. Now, obviously, netcode can occur. This is iRacing after all. Yes. But in my humble opinion, a lot of times a netcode incident is an incident that was going to happen. Netcode just made it happen sooner. And in this case, with the two cars and the trajectory that they were on, they were going to make contact. That was not going to be a clean corner.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I just checked the replay on my end, and I mean, all I'm going to say is, I'm going to tell you, that's not netcode. I will say that. I mean, yeah, it's like you said, he was there, other guy was there. I mean, it's like they say, it's the cone of death, where you're really peaking on the inside and going into an apex right there that's really tight. And I mean, hopefully if we get a replay soon, I saw that. All right, well, I will then try to give a good description here. It looked like Luis Diaz went really tight into the corner. He kind of had half the car on the curb, and while he was on that curb, the car, like you said, it just went out. It gutted to the left because he was just going in too hard and too much that it just wasn't going to rotate in time. And Bradley Skinker also, he kind of took his lane too. He also was a little bit too close, but it's like you said. I mean, one car is definitely not where he should have been, and the other car just a victim. And seeing that replay, Bradley Skinker just being, obviously wrecked out there. I mean, I just got, Hamilton and Verstappen, flashbacks, and like, I mean, it was in the same corner. I mean, are we gonna see this again? Maybe Stockner the next race?
I'm gonna say no comment. It's very, very possible. you get incidents like that on the last lap because of the simple nature of it is the last lap of the race. You have a lot of just intensity going on there. It should be noted to the viewers who are watching, Luis Diaz hit the incident limit when he hit Bradley Skinker. Luis Diaz incurred a time penalty imposed by iRacing. He finished 14th. Skinker moves to 10th. Skinker is on reverse grid pole.
Wow, and what a story right there. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, there had to be some consequences, right? So, as you said, it looks like Bradley Skinker gets promoted into P10 and is going to be starting on the pole. And to the side of him is going to be Clint Halterman in the front two rows. So, it's going to be interesting here. Clint Halterman obviously was really tailgating Bradley Skinker for, I think, really 10 laps or so. So it's going to be interesting how much patience Clint has for Bradley going to turn one. But definitely going to be interesting here as they're going to finish up their warm-up now as feature race, as it's going to start up soon enough here at Silverstone. I mean, what a first race. I mean, it goes to show how desperate these drivers are, even just to get, even they're in the points, they don't care, they'll go for it. Like you said, it's that final lap mentality. And oh man, I'm just getting goosebumps because we got a lot of action, and it's only the second race. It's right now we are going on the grid as the red lights are not yet posted, but we're gonna be going on the grid here as right now in hold on, as we're gonna get the grid here for our. All right, so here we go. As Bradley Skinker is going to be starting on first. Yes, it is. All right, so Ball State University is going to be up front with Bradley Skinker on the outside. Joining him, his lovely friend Clint Halterman and UNC Charlotte. On the inside in row number 2 is going to be Drexel University, Jason Wallet. And fourth place is going to be Hunter and Clemson University, followed by Cohen Evans in fifth place in row number 3. And outside of him is going to be Kel Davidson in Ball State University. On row number 4, it's going to be Ball State University once again with Lucas Moody. And joining him on the outside is Esteban Munoz from Florida International University. And following out on top 10 is going to be Jordan Johnson, Kent State University, and Ball State University of Muhammad. And it's going to be lights away. Here we go once again as race number 2 of CIL round 3. As Silverstone is going to go on the way as we got contact in the back. Oh, his car's going to go out. But looks like in first place. Ooh, and the leader just spun out. Bradley Skinker just spun out of turn 1, and it is going to be a full course yellow. Wow. Who knew that the leader was going to lose in turn 1, and he was in the clear as we saw 6, 7 cars on top of each other as we were about to have the replay once again. Oh, man. I mean, so much was happening. I was losing my breath as we see a lot of cars going on the outside, inside. We're going 6 wide there as one car was shunted into the wall, another car on the grass, and as we see Bradley Skinker just somehow just the car snapped out of out of turn 1. It looked like he went down a gear or something. What do you think happened there, Stockner?
Well, in Skinker's case, it just seemed like he had a little bit too much speed. He definitely took it a little bit too hard. We can see here, it looks like that looks to be Patrick's. It looks like Patrick Stanley.
Oh,
what happened behind there? What caused that big shunt? It just seemed like a car got shot into the cannon.
That was a sport under right there as we see, yeah, one car gets put into the wall, another car into the grass, but that car in the grass. Oh, Jason Wallet just unfortunately gets hit slightly and just gets, it's a demo derby.
That was Diamond, and then Jordan Johnson's out. There's Jordan Johnson's car. See, Johnson's down in the middle here. We have we have Diaz taking some damage. Patrick Stanley's lost. Johnson hit Diamond. Jordan Johnson hit Diamond. Diaz is involved. We had a caution for the fact that we had stopped cars on the racetrack. As right now, Diaz is done. Diamond is done. Stanley is done. Jordan Johnson is done. Right now, the pace car, it is, I believe it's heading out to collect the field. So I need to try and see if we can get that on the screen. The pace car has collected the field. We're still looking at the pit lane. The safety car right now is collecting the field, and to, I believe, our pure knowledge,
Wow.
Clint
Yeah,
Halterman has won. Clint Halterman has the lead of this race.
Yeah, so right now it looks like Alexander Diamond, Luis Manuel Diaz, Patrick A. Stanley, and Jordan Johnson are in the pits, and potentially I think those four are out of the race. But just to let the viewers know, it really all started when they were going out, in which Luis Diaz was trying to get on the outside here. Let me get here the name here. He was trying to get on the outside of somebody in front of him, Patrick A. Stanley. Yeah, so Diaz tried to get on the outside of Stanley on the start there, but it looks like Stanley was trying to avoid somebody who stalled on the grid, and that was Jordan Johnson. Jordan Johnson, when he went, he kind of slipped the tires, and that's what caused the checkup, and then that's where chaos was ensued. As we're gonna get another replay here, as the pace car is still gonna be driving the cars around. So yeah, I mean, it was chaos after chaos, and really, it all started with Jordan Johnson slipping the tires. It caused people to have to weave in front of him, and it just collected. And what a horrible wreck! I mean, this is like NIS at Martinsville. I mean, geez, I didn't think that these cars were gonna be just this violent in a wreck. Wow, but what a killer, because the biggest story of tonight, Jordan Johnson is he's still driving it, but he's gonna be starting from the back. But I don't know, he's still driving it, but with a lot of damage. I think that his race is gonna be cut short tonight for the second race.
Jordan Johnson has officially retired from the race. His car has too much damage. The only car involved
Ah.
in the incident that is still racing, and I heavily advise that he pits for damage, is Adrian Tubakovic. He is currently in the 15th position in the back of the queue right now. He has a good amount of front wing damage. I believe it is enough front wing damage to warrant a pit stop. But Adrian has not really been how we could say conventional in his strategy. He definitely, and he's missing an entire side pod. Please, sir, come into the pits. Your car is naked.
I mean,
You
hey, it's a strategy. I mean, if it's gonna be a little bit lightweight on the right side, it might help on the heavy right-handers. So honestly, this might be the play. He might just win tonight. All I'm saying is these side pods. If you remember Mercedes with no side pods, it could help out or it could be detrimental. So, but all joking aside, we're gonna see if he's gonna, be able to hold on to that. Cause yeah, like you said, with with these side pod damages, and that just it's gonna really unsettle the car. And I think, like you said, I think it might be best if he goes into the pits. And right now we have the admins currently investigating, and I mean, investigate. Oh, it's saying here. Yeah, it's a lap one incident is being investigated, but I mean, I don't know. That's a big investigation, because I think it was just a bunch of cars just hitting a bunch of cars. I mean, like I said, looked like an NIS at Martinsville on a Friday night. So, I mean, for faults to go around, I don't know what to say.
Tubakovic, in his best interest, is entering the pits. Thank you, sir. Your car was naked. It needed some body panels. You have Jason Wallet here. Jason Wallet. He actually has just set the fastest lap of the race. No, Aiken Lamar has just set the fastest lap of the race.
Ah,
At 3 minutes. Oh, Bradley Skinker takes it.
Bradley
3
Skinker,
minutes
woo!
and 38 seconds here. We are now riding along with Andrew Burrell, Mark Turek, Bradley Skinker. We're jumping around the grid right now, and Tubakovic's out of the car. I do believe Tubakovic. Oh, he's back in the car, according to my reports. He may be getting damage repair.
He might be.
He may not. He is
He's
out.
he's probably putting in the side pod himself. The crews are probably working not enough, and he's gonna try and fill in for a crewmate. But as we see going through these driver cams, I mean, these cars are all done. But as we gotta focus up front here, who is in the lead? Clint Holteman. And after that start, if we remember from that first lap, it it looks like the pace car lights are off, and we are about to go green once again here at Silverstone. And the biggest story here, Clint Halterman in first place, followed by Cale Davidson, Lucas Moody, Jason Wallet, Muhammad Ali, Cohen Evans, Austin DeLong, Hunter Hennessy, and Esteban Munoz to round about our top 10. But going in here, so we are doing a staggered start, really. So while we're not doing a grid start, the pace car, once it goes in, it's all on Clint Halterman, right, Stockton?
Indeed it is. And our head steward, Alex Hallinar, has come back with another decision. Adrian Tubakovic is to be declared at fault for the incident on lap
Oh.
one. I do not know exactly where and how. I didn't get a great angle when I was looking at it, but it does seem to me that Tubakovic simply ran into the back of another car and created the bigger incident at hand, which is most certainly a correct call from Mr. Hallinar in terms of who to determine the penalty. The pace card now is heading through the old pit straight through into Cop's corner here, and we have what looks to be a bunch of angry bees ready to swarm. You've got Clint Halteman, who is really wanting to have a good result. We have Cale Davidson, often second fiddle in that Ball State Esports room. He has an opportunity tonight with just only one more car to pass to get some clean air. Then you have Lucas Moody, who plays third fiddle at Ball State. He's only got to get around 2 cars. Jason Wallet. Jason Wallet thinks he could win this race. And in P5 now,
he's in
is
P4.
P4. Jason P4. All right. Then we got P5 and our Muhammad Alif. He believes that the 4 cars ahead of him are child's play. He can get around them in about half a lap. You know, he's got the kind of talent. He definitely has the most talent in the field. You have the elder statesman of the league, Cohen Evans, right behind him. You can never count him out. A man who's been winning races in CIL since the GT3 days of Season 3. You have Hunter Hidesti behind him, the self-proclaimed Japanese aficionado. He's in his Honda-powered Super Formula car. He could win this race if he gets a good chance. Esteban Munoz, never count him out. Aiken Lamar is there, Philip DeRosier, Andrew Burrow. Lots of cars, lots of chances. You have everybody getting ready for the grid. Clint Halteman, he is ready to roll.
He's ready to pounce. I mean, definitely one thing I want to mention is going to be never say never. I mean, we've seen the leader wreck out at turn 1. We've seen a big demo derby as we're going to round out here out of turn 18, out of the club, as Clint Halteman is on the gas as away we go here at Silverstone. As right now we got a wreck there. I don't know who that was. It looks like it was third place. It looks like Lucas Moody is going to be spinning out of clubs, but looks like as they go down to turn 1 through Abbey, down to turn 2 and the farm curve, down into turn 3 in Village, as right now Clint Halteman is leading, followed by Cale Davidson and Jason Wallet. Looks like he also had an incident there, as Muhammad Alif is going to be going up to third place, only 2 more spots to get the lead, as down they go through the Wellington Straight, down from turn 5, as we see right now, Muhammad Alif not that far off as right now, as we got another wreck in the back as Hunter Hidesti. He is wrecked. He isn't wrecked out, but spun out, and it's going to be really bad for him. He's going to try and get the car back around. Once again, as we see up front, right now the battle for first is getting intense right now. As we see right now, Clint Halteman, Cale Davidson, Muhammad Alif, Cohen Evans, and Esteban Munoz, all our top 5, are pulling away right now from 7th place, well, really 6th place right now. As right now we are on board with Muhammad Alif as we go through the copes, down into the straight, going almost into turn 10. Right now they're going to go through the S's. Right now, what is Muhammad Alif thinking right now, Starkner? As right now he has 2 cars in front of him spin out. It's just making it easier right now.
Alif right now, if I'm thinking about him, and I have to think into the eyes of a man who knows how to win these races because he's simply that talented. His biggest challenge is his protege. His protege, Cale Davidson, that's right in front of him. He knows that Cale wants to win about just as bad as Alif always wants to win. Passing him is very... Zach Lindler is off. He's off again. The man with a very storied career of ending up not on the racing track. But we have Alif here. He is fighting tooth and nail. Davidson goes wide. Davidson goes wide. Alif says thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, indeed. Now Alif has one more target in mind. If I'm Clint Halteman right now, I'm asking for a change of underwear. Because you have just now seen the fact that the last car of your defense to try and win this race has given up. And now you have...
don't count out K. Davidson because, yeah, as you said, he hasn't gotten a win, but that makes him even more hungry. I mean, as a teammate, if you see your teammate winning so many times and dominating, he's going to be good on points. What does he have to lose? Muhammad Ali can definitely, he will probably rub elbows here as K. Davidson is still trying to hang on. And as you saying, Clint Halterman, yeah, he lost his last defense, but as we saw last race, he kept overdriving it and he just kept oversteering it. But remember, that was behind Dirty Air. He has the lead. He's in free air. Let's see what he can cook up now as we have almost 11 laps left of this historical Silverstone Grand Prix.
Indeed. We have Andrew Burrow here in P9, and Andrew Burrow, he's had a career in the CIL, just being there when it counts. The man has no bad luxury right now in 9th place. He has I believe, the second alumni right now behind Philip de Rosier. But a P2 alumni, that's 18 fresh points in that championship. But he's also looking for 2 fresh points right now in the overall, but he has to defend against Mark Turek. Right now, as it stands, our Muhammad Ali, in the span of half a lap, has gained on Clint Halterman by half a second. He has turned on his overtake. I'd like to know if Halterman has done the same. It looks like to me, at least from my onboard, he has. It is now overtake v overtake. Halterman still has his on. Turn it off, buddy. You can't use it in a corner. You're going to spin. He has it right. He has it where it is right now. He's still using his overtake.
Oh, wow.
A Leaf right now is doing more than he could ever need to. He is scaring Clint Halterman into using overtake to try and defend.
Right now, going through turns 1, yeah, Clint Halterman's still on the overtake. Through maggots right now, through the S's. Now he's off of it, but it's like you said, he's just kind of being pressured here. He's kind of getting afraid maybe by Muhammad Ali just putting the pressure on his back, and we saw it through those last corners. He didn't even use his overtake, and look how close he's getting already, down into the Chappelle, down through Hanger Straight as we go into turn 15 through Stowe. And how many laps do you think, Stockner, is he gonna get there? As we see the battle for 10th. Oh, we're gonna go back to second. Go ahead, Stockner.
If you want me to be, polite, I think Halterman leads one more lap of this race. If you want me to be a realist, I think Alif takes the lead in the next 2 corners. He's right here. I believe in the next braking zone, it is his for the taking. He tries to fight here. He outwashes a little bit. Does he get to the inside? He does. Does he outbrake him? No, he's not last in the late breakers. That belongs to Clint Halterman. Clint Halterman now in the next couple corners. He's defying my logic. I thought he was done for. He's not. He gets back into the car now. Down into the Wellington Straight.
I'm saying never say never. Yeah, Clint Halterman is putting up a show, but one can only tell. Is he using up too much overtake? How much can he last? Because, well, that early caution, it did cut the short race because right now we do have almost 8 laps left. So it's kind of a short-term race right here. If he can just pull it off, it would be an amazing drive. But as you said, defying all odds, one can only tell. Will Muhammad Ali get him in the next corner or not? As once again, Clint Halterman going and passing through the lead as they go down through Corpse, now into Baggots. As soon enough, they're going through the S's here. As once again, Muhammad Ali just tagging him on his tail, just ever so slightly, just putting the pressure on him. As we see Muhammad Ali down into Chappelle as we go down through the Hanger Straight. As we see overtake right now, Muhammad Ali has overtake right now, and also Clint Halterman as he looks into the inside. He's on the right side right here as they're side by side going down into the Hanger Straight, down into 15 and Stowe as Muhammad Ali takes the lead from Clint Halterman, and Clint Halterman is relegated to second. But Clint Halterman, well, does he have something to answer? As he's on the outside, looking into trying to make the switcheroo right here. He's going into the inside once again. Oh, and he's barely onto the corner, but once again, Muhammad Ali just barely etches out of the club, down into the straights, as Muhammad Ali is in first place, followed by Clint Halterman. What a battle.
A gallant defense from Clint Halterman, but now he has to change gears. Is he able to find ways to attack? If I'm Halterman right now, I have 2 simple goals in mind. Find ways to get on the power quicker and find ways to get some slipstream so Alif does not simply drive away with it. He has a little bit of gap. He has a little bit of time. Back here in the battle for 10th now, is the battle for 10th now.
Yes.
As Lucas Moody has gone through into P9. we have here Andrew Burrell, who is now under attack from Mark Turek. Mark Turek to the inside. Can they get into Brooklands? We don't even see it. Here he goes now. He has the pass made. It is really working hard for Mark Turek right now. He has made the pass happen. Here comes Andrew Burrow. He is now in 11th place. Does he have anything in response? Is he using overtake at all? Who really knows? He could be though. He said he just got it read back. He has full overtake available to his liking. He has those blue buttons to the side of his steering wheel.
Yeah, right now, Mark Turek in 10th place right now, just getting past Andrew Burrow. But I will say right now, Mark Turek, for the last five corners, he has overtake on. He has right now 150 seconds right now, as we see on board right now with Mark Turek. As we see right now, he's been using that overtake for now 7 corners. He is killing it, but he has not even been using it. So I think this is his hot lap, just trying to get away from Andrew Burrow. As right now, the lead is, he's getting away by a second right now, but Lucas Moody in front now. The battle for 8th is also getting it on, as Lucas Moody has his overtake on right now, trying to get past Keith Lamar as they go down the straights right now. Lucas Moody is getting it on. He's going to go into the inside. Will he make the corner here as they go down through, turn 1, and he makes the pass. Lucas Moody is in 8th place. Keith Lamar in 9th, and Mark Turek in 10th.
Indeed, a great play from him there. Now we take a look at Esteban Munoz out of Florida International University.
Okay, so right now we're gonna check out the wreck from Lucas Moody from earlier. Oh, sorry, not Lucas Moody. Who? Oh, Moody, yes. So right now on the restart here, so Lucas Moody in 8th place. Impressive that he's right now in 9th, as we see, oh, just getting on the gas and just spinning. And wow, the blessings he must have on that wheel to not get hit. But what a drive. I mean, he's getting back into 9th place. As right now we're on board with Esteban Munoz, as the battle for 4th is raging on between Esteban Munoz and Cohen Evans. Right now as we go down through the Wellington Straight, Hanger Straight into turn 15 into Stowe. I mean, these two drivers, they've been kind of close. I've been looking at their lap times. They've been trading a 10th or 2 every so often. But right now, Esteban Munoz just on the prowl, trying to get Evans, but in a solid 5th place, as there's really, oh, and he overcorrects it a little bit, has a rear slide, but he saves it. What an amazing save out of Club as they go down through the straight out of 18. And right now, Cohen Evans just driving away by 1.5 seconds. And as I was going to say, he has no pressure. Jason Wallet is out back by 3 seconds. So if I was him, I'ma just relax, breathe, compose, because 5th place is great. But what do you think, Stockner? That's not enough for you?
I mean, if I'm Munoz right now, if 5th is not enough, I want 4th, I want 3rd, I want 2nd, and I want 1st. And I want now. He's got 6 laps to go. We're taking a look at Andrew Burrow right now. He is in P11. Now we're up through Clint Halteman now. He is in P2. And if I'm Clint Halteman right now, even if we go through the rest of this race and he finishes 2nd, you got to give him his flowers. The man has now. The man will win the alumni division for the race 2 of the evening. That's free 25 points in class, and then he'll get a free 18 points for finishing 2nd. He'll get an interview with us here in the booth. We get to talk about the ultimate and how he's been handling this evening, and he gets to cut in to that Ball State sandwich. Ball State, 4 seasons now, has been pride of the line when it comes to the road racing options here in the Collegiate iRacing League. It seems like every week, Ball State is either in contention or is winning, this week included. And for Clint Halteman to be in the position that he is in 2nd place, with going to 5 laps to go in this race, is an incredible result for the man who is able to convert his reverse grid race pole into a hopefully a P2, at worst a podium, but he has done a great job. We look through the field now. Looks like Hunter Hedesti has declared himself out of the race, as well as Bradley Skinker. We have 12 cars on the lead lap. The last car on the lead lap being Zach Lindler in P12 right now. He is 31 seconds behind the leader, 8 seconds behind the next closest car in P11 with Andrew Burrell.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely a really small car. Well, the amount of cars left here, it's as if it was like a Daytona 500 where it just demolished half the field. And really, it's going to be interesting here as right now, Mark Turk is 2 seconds in front of Andrew Burrow right now as we're on board with Mark Turk, but he's on the prowl. Akeem Lamar was in front of him by 2 seconds and a few corners behind. Akeem Lamar did mess it up as we see a little bit of a correction with Mark Turk, but he still keeps the car on rails as right now he's just barely a second behind him. And Andrew Burrow got a little bit there right after that mistake that Mark Turk got right there. Andrew Burrow within 2 seconds. So the battle of 10th is still there. If Mark Turk just misses a corner or taps on the curb a little bit, loses time, Andrew Burrow is still right behind. He still has a chance as the points here is going to be intense. As Mark Turek goes off the grass, as I said, the smallest thing has right now. Mark Turek is going to landscape right now, but he gets back onto the straights once again. But relegated in 11th, and in front of him, Andrew Burrow flying away in 10th. But he did cut the course, so we don't know if he's going to get a slowdown here, as Mark Turek is now in 11th. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure if that's commentary curse, but as we see, Mark Turek is in 11th. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else more. What I'm gonna say is the battle for 10th like I said from the beginning, never say never. What do you think, Stockner?
Well, if I'm Andrew Burrow right now, I'm enjoying the fact that I'm going to get another point. The fact that he is finished in 10th. We look back at the reverse grid. He actually finished, I believe it was in the first race. He finished
19th.
He finished 19th. He didn't get any points there. He's looking to possibly get a point here, which every point matters in these championships. Philip DeRosier in P7 right now. Let's talk a little bit about Philip DeRosier and Howard Community College. Howard Community College is a newer school to the Collegiate iRacing League. Philip DeRosier, actually in his debut season, the CIL competition, he is an alumni out of Howard Community College, and you have a teammate in this race for him in the form of Aiken Lamar. Philip DeRosier having a great race right now. Aiken Lamar having a good race. Aiken Lamar, he's a little bit of a come-up story, if you will. He definitely did not have a grand introduction to the CIL. Was often involved in some incidents that were a little bit out of his control. But now, as he has started to come into his own, P9s, P7s, P6s, definitely points on the table have become more of a common occurrence for the man. And as we look through the field here some more, want to point out a little bit of a nice recovery drive. Jason Wallet, self-proclaimed titan of the sport he is. P6 is where he stands right now. That is an excellent position for the man, looking to convert that into some really well-earned points. But then I have to give some flowers to a man who's been racing in this league longer than I have, and I've been around for a very long time. He's racing in P4 right now. His name is Cohen Evans. The man out of Indiana University, Purdue University of Indianapolis. Try saying that 5 times fast. He is racing really well in P4. The man has a long stated history from back when CIL was sports cars only. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The CIL used to be a sports cars only league. It has grown into so much more. This man has been around for all of it, and he continues to impress week in and week out. A P4 position right now, 12 hard-earned points with the potential to go get more. He's only a second behind Cale Davidson, but at the same time, he has potential to lose. Esteban Munoz, he's only a second behind him. It is a very difficult race here, as we are on 3 laps to go. I do believe our Muhammad Alif has taken the next lap over as he's crossed the start-finish line. But we have a battle brewing here for the last podium position, and what could be a battle from 2nd through 5th, as Halteman is continuing to falter a little bit in terms of keeping the pace. He is only 1.8 seconds ahead of Davidson. Davidson's only a second ahead of Evans. Evans is only now 6/10 ahead of Munoz. Munoz is 6 seconds ahead of Wallet. But still, you have a good gaggle of cars coming in here that all have positions up for grabs here, Edward.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say it's really Cale Davidson that's actually been falling off pace because Clay Halterman, yeah, he's just barely going and not over and not trying to, break the car like last race. But it looks like Cale Davidson was actually losing a lot of like really, he was losing 8 tenths on the last sector on the last lap, which is why Cohen Evans is just barely a second right there. Now who knows? Maybe Cohen Evans is using his overtime, sorry, overtake. But Cohen Evans, Esteban Munoz, like the battle for third is getting closer and closer. But who knows? Like I said. It's just all about that one errors. Right now, Esteban Munoz with 85 seconds on his overtake. May as well, if you got it now, may as well use it all up now. So now Esteban Munoz is going and perfectly through the S's right now as he's right behind Cohen Evans as they go down through the straight. As we see right now, as we see Cohen Evans is using his overtake too, but Esteban Munoz has been using it earlier. As he's going to the right side, he's looking to the inside as they go side by side into the corner. As Esteban Munoz is looking to the inside, he makes that pass. A spectacular through goes Esteban Munoz in fourth place as Cohen Evans is going to be relegated in fifth. But will he have something to answer right now as they're going through the final corners here as the white flag is already in the air right now as they go on to the final lap right now. One more lap around here at Silverstone. Right now it's the battle of really fourth place between Esteban Munoz and Cohen Evans. In the lead right now, Muhammad Ali puts 8 seconds in front, just getting fast lap after fast lap. What a man on a mission right now. I mean, it is smooth sailing. Nothing can stop this man. As right now, he has overtake right now on, and I can only imagine how many he has right now. He has 100 seconds left. Wow, this man has been just going on without overtake. So he's just deciding, you know what? I'm just going to try and hit a hot lap right now. So right now, overtake using in place. So right now, Muhammad Ali in first place as we follow down the road. Right now, Clint Halterman in second place, just behind 8 seconds. But right now, the battle for fourth place is just getting heated as Esteban Munoz is kind of faltering just a little bit there as Cohen Evans is trying to answer back. He only has a couple corners left right now as they go down through the straights, as they go through Cost right here, as Evans key crucial part right here is if he can take this corner well, as right now he's still behind his slipstream. Can Cohen Evans gain onto Munoz as they go through the S's right now? Esteban Munoz seems like he's in control here. Cohen Evans just trying and pushing. He's sending it in a car as he's late on the braking and sending it in. He's just barely right there as they go back onto the streets. As we see, he jumps on the inside trying to break off that slipstream as Esteban Munoz is swerving, trying to get Cohen Evans out. But as we see right now, going through the combs, as Muhammad Ali for the final time tonight is going to get the checkered flag in first as Muhammad Ali is your winner of CIL College Racing for College Formula Racing Round 3 here at Silverstone. Congrats to him as right now Clint Halterman just passes through in second place. Next up is going to be Cale Davidson in third. Fourth place Esteban Munoz, and unfortunately Cohen Evans, not enough time, not enough laps, is going to be relegated in fifth. Right now, Jason Wallet, just right now, passing through the finish line. Jason Wallet, an amazing performance tonight, gets sixth place, followed by Felipe in seventh place. Now Lucas Moody in eighth place, and rounding up top 10, Akeem Lamar in ninth, and Andrew Burrow in 10th place. What an amazing run by Clemson right there. And once again, unfortunate as roundabout in 11th place in the no position right there is going to be Mark Turek, who unfortunately had a little mess up their landscape. And that's all you have to do to get out of the points. As Zach Lindler barely he is roughing with the car, he's throwing it everywhere, and he wins, and he goes into the wall out of pure despite as he's gonna finish upside down. But good for him as he finishes out in well, currently last on the lead lap in 12th place right now.
Well, Lindler, he had a little bit of a
I think his wheel
how you can
disconnected.
say he had I'm going to chalk that down to technical difficulties. That was a that was a difficult piece of driving to watch there as he crosses the line. But overall, we look at the results, and once again, I don't know how many times we will declare this to be the truth. Our Muhammad Ali won. That's common knowledge.
That's a fact.
We're going to be bringing in our Muhammad Ali, Clint Halterman, and Cale Davidson tonight for interviews. All three for podium finishes. Ali for winning the race overall, Ali for winning the student, and Halterman for winning the alumni, as well as getting a second place finish. It'll be interesting to talk to these three. It'll be interesting to be talking to these drivers. But let's go through our finishing positions here. In first place, Muhammad Alif coming across the line for Ball State University in P1, followed by Clint Haltman out of UNC Charlotte in P2. Cale Davidson rounding out our podium there in P3, also from Ball State University, also the state of Ball. Don't know where that state is. P4, Esteban Munoz out of Florida International. P5, the older statesman Cohen Evans out of IPUE. P6, Jason Wallet out of Drexel University. P7, Felipe de Rosier out of Howard Community College. P8, Lucas Moody out of Ball State University. P9, all set at Howard Community College, Aiken Lamar. And in P10, rounding out your overall points paying positions, Andrew Burrell out of Clemson University. Take it away through our positions there, Edward.
And unfortunately, as you say, overall points position as these guys have unfortunately just lucked out. As we have Mark Turk in 11th place out of Pennsylvania College of Technology. Followed by him is Zach Lindler, who was, roughing around with the car, fighting against it, but manages it to finish in P12 for Lenore Ryan University. P13, Patrick Stanley out of Ferris State University. Great drive by him. Unfortunately, he had to retire the car towards the end, but he was one of the few survivors out of that first wreck. Followed by him is Hunter Hetsity, is going to be out with Clemson University in 14th place. Followed by him, our last Ball State University, Bradley Skinker in 15th place. Followed by that, Adrian Tubakovic. Did I say it right? I think I said it right. Tubakovic. With St. Clair College. Sorry, Adrian, if you're watching this. I'm getting better at this. I'm sorry. I will get it better. Followed by him is Austin DeLong out of Pennsylvania College of Technology in 17th place. Followed by that is Alexander Diamond from Drexel University in 18th place. Luis Diaz, Florida International University in 19th place. And last but not least, an unfortunate night for Jordan Johnson out of Kent State University to be in 20th place. Followed by that is going to be Athena Leclerc at St. Clair College, out of the race, also I guess a victim of that first crash. I mean, Stockter, that race, did you think it was going to be this intense? Or did you think it was going to be one to sleep upon?
Well, I'm very glad that we had some action going on in the midfield, and we definitely kept our eye on it for a majority of the time. From a leader's perspective, and it's probably a question I'm going to ask our Muhammad Alif, was, did you get bored? He won the first race by I don't even know how many seconds. I believe the total I'm getting
Yeah,
is 5. He won the
yeah.
first race by 5 seconds. He wins the second race by 9. I
Oof.
mean, it's not like astronomical amounts of time, but still, it's amounts of time that you're like, he had this race won.
Oh no, of course,
So
and he was one of he got, well, I'd say lucky, but maybe it was skill involved to start from 10th in the midst of that whole demo derby. I mean, that was pretty good of him to survive from 10th to first.
mhm.
Oh, yeah, so right now we have the drivers ready to be interviewed. Right now we have a Leaf who's gonna come over and we're gonna go talk to him in a jiffy right now, are we? Awesome. Muhammad Alif, welcome once again to your, I guess, Elite podcast at this point. I mean, man, what a strong race. First race winning by 5 seconds, second race by 9 seconds. But really, the second race on that start, I mean, man, I gotta ask, how did it? Oh, unfortunately, the camera fell off. Oh, sorry about that, folks. I was gonna say, how did it feel starting from 10th place and just managing to avoid all that mayhem?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tricky start, I'd say, because I saw Jordan, I could see Jordan like in my blind spot or my like peripheral vision, and then he kind of disappeared. So I don't know what happened with his start. It bogged down, but yeah, for me, it was just I saw like a very clear path in front of me, and just kind of sent it into turn 1, and then just before I could attack into turn, I think the pace car came out. But I think after that, it was just kind of trying to chase down Clint, who was very fast. And I was just trying to see where he was struggling a bit, and kind of took it from there.
I mean, yeah, struggling a little bit. I was gonna say it didn't take that long to get past him, but he was putting up a good fight. You can't say no to that. Stockton, you got a question?
Well, Alif, it's a pleasure to be talking to you again. Typically when I'm calling these races, I tend to have conversations with you. My main question for you is across both of these races.
Yep.
Obviously, I think I know the answer to this, but which race was harder to win?
Uh, I don't know. I mean, first race, once I got the lap one, I knew that I could just pull away just because like the dirt here is pretty tough here. Race two was iffy, I guess. With the restart, seeing a few cars spin out, and then I thought Clint could maybe fight me, so I was just trying to do my best to just kind of clear him. And I'd say if trying to win is probably race two because of like that battle. I didn't know how it was gonna end up, so I was just kind of giving it my all. But yeah, I mean, race one was just a time attack between me and Jordan, but I think we just had a bit more pace, I think, in hand, and kind of came through. So yeah.
Well, great job once again. I mean, round three, this dominance is insane, Alif. I mean, congratulations once again for a solid race tonight. And you excited for the next race? I mean,
Yeah,
how are
the
you
next race.
feeling?
Next race, obviously tomorrow is Collegiate prototype, so it's gonna be a Daytona. It's gonna be pretty fun, I would say. Yeah, first endurance race of the season. So yeah, I mean, me and my team, we've done a pretty decent job, kind of practicing towards it. But yeah, anything can happen really. So just keeping our fingers crossed, trying to just execute the game plan. So I think that's where mentally we all are, especially myself. That's where I am personally. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us for your for your weekly podcast. So appreciate so much, man. And yeah, man, take care. Have fun practicing, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. See you guys.
All right, that was our first place winner, Muhammad Alif. Give it up for him as he had a strong running. As right now we have Clint Halterman up next for our second position. And I'm so sorry, Clint Halterman. As our alumni winner as well, I do apologize for that. Cannot sleep on that fact. As right now we will be getting him in the booth shortly. Here we go. Clint Halterman, alumni winner. Congratulations, round three of CIL, and you're gonna get a second place here. I mean, what an amazing drive. I mean, unfortunate in your first race, you were struggling here and there, but luckily you were just able to manage 10th place, ninth place, I mean, in the end, and avoiding that first wreck in the first caution, and just being able to just stay in front of a leaf. But that's the question I want to ask you: is how did it feel for you to come off of a race that you were struggling, you were oversteering, you were going around with your rear tires, and just resetting yourself, going to the second race, and staying in front of a leaf for longer than we kind of expected? How did that go about?
Yeah, I knew a leaf wasn't my race. I knew there was no chance I was gonna keep him behind me, but I was just like, I was just gonna try and keep him behind me as long as I could, and try to minimize the amount of time I'd lose when he eventually passed me. Because I knew my real race was for second there. Um, so yeah, once we got he kind of made that move on me, and then we got into the final chicane, and we went side by side. At that point, I knew it was we're gonna lose too much time going side by side through there. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna follow him. Hope he could tow me along a little bit, and he did a little bit. Helped me get a little bit more distance on Kale there. But yeah, the first race, it was a big struggle. Dirty Air was terrible, um, and I felt like I was faster than the guys I was battling with, but I just couldn't do anything because I was just stuck in Dirty Air the whole time, and it was really difficult to pass. And then the one pass I did try to make to get out of that Dirty Air, we had another neck code incident. So, but yeah, really happy to get the P2. Have an uneventful race for once. Score points in both events, so I'm very happy with the result.
Yeah, congratulations. I mean, it was tough seeing you behind Brandon Skinker for nearly almost more than 10 laps there, just stuck behind that toe. So great job for you, getting ninth and getting second in that last race. Stockner?
Well, Halterman, how you doing, buddy? We got a quick question for you. You did beat my bet. I thought you were going to lose out the a leaf fairly quickly. I guess
Man.
the best thing that I have to ask is what is going through your mind when you're out in the lead? You didn't think you'd get this far, but you're here. Um, what is there a mindset of there's a chance I have this, or is it a mindset of I'm just going to drive and when they pass me, they pass me?
Yeah, if we were driving the stock car, I would be like, okay, I have a chance at this, but a Leaf is just an animal in these cars. I think I can keep up with him a little bit more in the NASCAR side of things and road courses. Um, but the guy's just stupid fast in these formula cars and these road courses. I was like, well, maybe if a leaf gets held up for a while, or he spins out, or something happens to him, I have a chance. But yeah, I saw once I saw a leaf in second, I was like, yeah, all right. Well, I know I'm battling for second now. That's my victory is if I can finish second. That's best of the rest, in my opinion. But yeah, it was nice to have some laps in the lead, clean air, having some clean air, especially like I said after that first race, being in dirty air the entire time. Having some clean air there was really nice. But yeah, just I wish I'm trying to get better at these a little bit faster on the road courses. In cars that aren't the NASCAR car. And so maybe one day I can try to put up a little better fight if a leaf is coming up on me. But yeah, I saw a leaf behind me. It's just like, all right, I'm just gonna try and battle him a little bit, not just like give him the spot, but I wasn't going to sacrifice a lot of time in doing so and just have third place catch up.
I mean, yeah, that was a pretty good battle you put up front. So once again, congratulations on being the alumni winner tonight and getting P2 in the podium. And I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, I'm an oval guy, so I mean, I can only imagine how it is to drive these cars and on the edge of just spinning out. So congratulations to you. Thank you so much for coming by and good luck in your next race.
All right, thank you guys.
And now we're gonna move on to our final podium winner here. It's Cale Davidson in our rounding up for third place. Oh, sorry. My apologies. P2 as Clint Halterman, since he's the alumni winner. Cale Davidson is in second. I apologize to the viewers for students. So Cale Davidson is second place for students. Muhammad Leaf is first place in the students. Clint Halterman first place in alumni. So I greatly apologize. As we're gonna have him join us in the booth. Welcome, Cale Davidson, getting P2 in the students. I mean, what a drive, man. I mean, you were closely getting onto Clay Halterman. If you had another few laps, maybe you could have got him. But what a race, and especially avoiding that first wreck in the second caution. How did you feel, you know, being up front, though, as you were right behind Clint Halterman in that second race, and you were just in front of a leaf? Like, we saw you kind of get out of there, got a little bit squirrely. Like, were you trying to, like, push hard to get in front of Halterman?
So I didn't really know what Clint's pace was. I knew that he's been a top runner kind of in all the other series and even this series. And we were running pretty clean with each other at Spa, so I wasn't too worried. I knew he had pace, so my main goal was to basically try to gap everyone else behind. I knew a leaf was coming up behind, and I knew I was also trying to play it safe because cold tires definitely are something that you don't want to like take for granted on this track. So you can even see the pass that a leaf made around me. I missed the apex like ever so much, and then just because of how high speed these corners are and with cold tires, it shot me all the way off to that right side or the left side of the track. So it's basically just trying to play it safe and make it through the first couple laps.
I mean, yeah, you had a great showing tonight. I mean, dominating in third place. I mean, it's not, it's not winning, but, still having a shot here on the podium and getting second place. I'm pretty sure you have you're gonna go tonight really happy with what you got. Nick Stockner, you got a question for him?
Well, Kale, Another person that typically when I call these races, I have a conversation with. Buddy, old pal, you had a little bit of an interesting race, a little bit of an interesting evening, more than anything. You had a good race one, but in race two, you found a way into the podium. Um, what was the mindset of the evening from dealing with a lower front of the pack qualifying effort to where you're at right now?
So about the qualifying, I kind of focus on putting a clean lap in first and then pushing after that. And on the third to last corner, I dropped my right left wheel a little too far off and got a 1x for that. So I invalidated my second lap when that lap should have put me, I think, like 100th right off of Lucas. So I should have started right up at the front as well. But obviously, made a mistake there. So I knew from that point it was just kind of lock in, avoid any wrecks that happen, get good starts, hit your points, and then just kind of drive, stay consistent, and pretty much just make it to the end.
I mean, make it to the end you did, so congratulations on getting second place on the students. And I mean, yeah, what an amazing drive you had. I mean, I was thinking, wow, he might get in front of Cliff Haltman and be leading, but obviously you're going to be battling out with the Leaf, so that was going to be interesting to see. But yeah, we're going to see you next week, right? Hopefully we'll see a more intense battle just as today. And great job tonight.
Thank you.
All right, well, that was our second place student, Kale Davidson. And right now we're going to get Esteban Munoz, who is our third place in the students. And we're going to get him in the booth right now. Esteban Munoz, welcome and congratulations on a third place finish in the students. What an amazing performance tonight. I mean, you had a really solid run. In the first race, you finished third, and in the here, you finished fourth, but third in the student standings. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling really good. It's a nice bounce back race for me after terrible opening race at Suzuka. Yeah, I just needed to really perform today for the team, and yeah, I feel like I managed to do that pretty well today. I had some good battles on track. Yeah, it was fun.
Pretty good. I mean, yeah, that was a solid run right there. You kept it clean and consistent. Next Stockner, you got a question?
Oh, well, Esteban, it's good to talk to you again. You had a podium in race one. In race two, you fell just one position short, but a podium in the student category. Talk us through your race. Talk us through both races. Was any challenges, any difficulties as you were driving through the field tonight?
Well, for race one, I mean, it was pretty simple. Just make sure like not to spin the tires at the start, and just I knew I didn't have a chance against Jordan or Leaf, but I mean after the first few laps I was actually keeping in touch with them, but that's once the tires started coming in, that's where I lost my touch. But even with that I had it was Luke Moody behind me. He was keeping on my toes all race, so it was a very intense race. No cars in front of me, but tense overall, just looking in my mirror making sure he wouldn't like dive bomb me or anything. Managed to pull it through, and then for race two, starting in 8th, and spun the tires, but not as bad as the people behind me when I saw there was a massive wreck behind me. And then after the safety car, I think everybody felt it. The tires were like ice cold. It was like on ice. There's no grip for the first lap or two. Just managing to hold on, and then after that, just put laps in. But the dirty air is so bad that once you get like within like 6, 7 tenths of the driver in front of you, like especially through Maggots and Beckett's, it's pretty bad. Luckily, with like 2 to go, I used my overtake, just like a all or nothing type of ordeal. Luckily got a good run out of Beckett's and got the move done on Evans. And after that, I just didn't with 1 lap to go, I just didn't have enough to catch up to Davidson. But I feel like had I passed him sooner, may have a shot at a podium again. But all good. I'll take the points. Definitely helps the team also. So yeah, good day for sure.
Yeah, congratulations. I mean, a strong finish right there and a strong showing all night long. Yeah, so definitely a good night. I feel like you're really happy with what you got. And yeah, good luck in the next one, man.
Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Take care. And with that, that rounds about our top 3 in student standings, and including our alumni winner, Clint Halterman. Once again, first place, Muhammad Alif. Not a shocker at this point. I mean, this is my 3rd day on the job, and seeing how he has dominated my whole career as commentating on this race in this category. I mean, it's baffling, but it's impressive, and kudos to him. And following him is second place is Clint Halterman, alumni winner in the alumni standings, and followed by him, Cale Davidson and Esteban Munoz rounding out in 3rd and 4th, but 2nd and 3rd for the student standings. I mean, wow. I mean, we had a Lewis Verstappen moment in Cosp. We had a biggest turn 1 incident, I think, for so far this series has had for this current season. We had a lot of, close contacts, especially through the chicanes. I mean, it was just crazy everywhere. What do you think, Nick Stockner? How did you feel after that whole race?
It's been an event. I guess the best way I can describe this race tonight was just a midfield spectacle. You got a lot of cars that had no quit in the midfield and were definitely carving it up, doing the best that they can. And in the future, it definitely looks like our midfield can catch up. The result may echo the same bill every time, where you got an Muhammad Leaf victory. But you look through this field tonight, it was definitely an entertaining race to watch. It was an entertaining race to call. It's a pleasure race to call. And the future is bright for the Super Formula. 3 races in now, and each race has been fun to drive and has been fun to watch. And it can only get better from here.
I mean, yeah, this being the first time this series is existing, and for the first 3 races to be just absolutely the most craziest racing. I mean, I've watched Formula One, and then I watched CIL Formula College. There's nothing to compare. It's like this is like it's going from like mini golf to golf, right? Mini golf being Formula One and golf being CIL Formula College. So it's been one hell of a race to be watching and to be seeing these 3 rounds. And so we're gonna move on in terms of where we're gonna go next week. So next week, yes. I was gonna say that tomorrow as well is gonna be the College Prototype Series League. That's gonna be at Daytona, and it's gonna be the sports. It's gonna be the prototype cars. It's gonna be an endurance type race. It's gonna be crazy. We all know turn 1 is a doozy down through the international horseshoes, out of turn 7 on the banking and the back chicane, and it's gonna be the first ever CIL endurance race. So it's gonna be 90 minutes long. So watch out for long stints. Gonna be some crazy pit stops. It's gonna be insane. So y'all better not miss out tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Be there here at CIL, the home of really the best racing here on iRacing. What do you think? And so also we're going to be moving on with the Cup. Next week we're going to be at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. What turn 4? Only 3 turns that I know. I mean, turn 4 I would have found out by now as an oval driver, but it's going to be crazy. Next Monday, please be there at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. Once again here at CIL. You won't want to miss it. It's going to be a crazy race. And next week, of course, for the Formula College Series, we're going to be round 4, and we're going to head home to Miami Grand Prix, Homestead, Miami. So it's going to be interesting next week for February 7th, once again at 9 p.m. So be there, and you're not going to regret it. Nick Stockner, any last messages, or what do you want to say?
No, a pleasure to be here this week. If it happens again, it happens again. If not, you'll catch me out on the track, where hopefully next time we have a working brake pedal.
Of course. I mean, yeah, I was going to say to all the viewers, Nick Stockner here, filling in for Dan. Unfortunately, Dan couldn't be commentating, so I filled in to help out more. But Nick Stockner, of course, the man, the myth, the legend, to be coming up here to take a break from racing and maybe to, look at it from above. And maybe, I guess, you can be right now scheming and seeing how these people have been driving. So thank you so much, Nick Stockner, for joining us in the booth. And also, once again, thank you so much to our fabulous producer, Keith. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for being here and really being the one to pull the strings around here and making this a possibility. And once again, thank you to the fans. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to CIL, to the British Grand Prix Formula College Round 3. It's been 2 races tonight. That's been the most spectacular racing I've ever seen in a while. I mean, ever since really last week from the last race. So it's been one hell of a race. And so thank you so much for sticking around, Nick Stockner, and thank you so much to all the viewers. Like I said, once again, please stay tuned tomorrow at 9 p.m. for the college prototype race at Daytona, 90-minute endurance race. Be there, or you're gonna get a 4x the next time you're gonna race at a track. So please be there, and you will get a 0x in your next official race. So hear me out, all right?